I think I like So What. I think that as a piece is just very distinctive, but I really like them all equally well. I really like Blue and Green a lot. It's gorgeous. It's a great ballad, one of a kind song too.
Blue and Green is one that touches me fairly deeply.
Today, my favorite tune that we played is actually Blue and Green, which has been my all-time favorite.
I love all of them. They're all my favorite songs, but Blue and Green especially, I think.
I would say Blue and Green was my favorite.
No, I enjoyed it, and it was quite a challenge because the music that we played today was a lot of it was before I was even a bass player.
Well, it was actually the first jazz I heard in my life without knowing who that was. It was a Miles Davis quartet with John Coltrane playing tenor sax, and it's still one of my favorites.
I thought it was quite challenging and quite an experience, and to know that such giants played music of such intensity.
I have most of Miles and Coltrane's album, the Prestige albums, and a lot of stuff out of that time. I always have loved personally Bill Evans, obviously more just by the pure fact that he is a pianist that I really enjoyed, and being a bridge builder between the European classical tradition and jazz. So I've enjoyed their collaborations over the years the best from the different Miles bands.
I have to say that there a Miles Davis record called Four and More, which was made after the music we played today was probably the reason I became a musician. My first drum teacher played it for me, and there was a drummer on there named Tony Williams, who was only about 17 at the time. He really inspired me and made me want to do this for a living and get very, very deeply involved. So when I think of Miles Davis, I think of like many other musicians, a very inspirational and creative person whose music affected a lot of people. And John Coltrane, same way. And John Coltrane, after he left Miles Davis, he started a great quartet that was another earth-shaking event in jazz. And his drummer, Elvin Jones, was another one of the real innovators who influenced a lot of drummers of my generation and older and younger. So Elvin Jones was wonderful too. So both of those guys are just some of the real pillars of modern jazz, I have to say.
I mean, these were the progenitors of an entire school of jazz, the cool jazz scene, and they were so revolutionary in both their improvisational approaches, the way that they created music, their whole switch from this era of swing, and then we had bebop, which was very complex and very fast, and all of a sudden here comes Miles yet again with this totally new, creative, complete change of pace. And then again, after this cool jazz movement, he will actually fuse jazz and rock together to create jazz fusion with the first record that kind of blended the harmonic aspects and improvisational aspects of jazz with rock, which came in the first album called Bitches Brew. But this Kind of Blue album was a revolutionary album in the late 50s because it really changed the entire approach to jazz and sound and improvisation. Very sophisticated, and still is the #1 selling jazz album of all times. And so this film that's being done, Trane and Miles, this was the music that session was about and the film is about. So we were delighted to be able to recreate some music for the film.
Thoughts they're very difficult thoughts because they're giants that, have reached a level of artistic development that is off the charts. They'll be remembered for many, 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 many years. So it's really hard to put that in words. I mean, it's almost impossible, actually.